I want to annoy him. I wish to annoy him. But you see the level of concentration he has right now? Like, you can't do that to a man. Even though like his hands are like perfectly up, he's got a scalding hot iron, and you just want to tickle him. Like just ever so gently.
Convert you. I convert you.
Don't piss off a man with a soldering iron. It never goes well. Welcome to the YouTube channel. So today I am trying to finish the good old 82 Toyota pickup, and it's being a butthole. And excuse my foul language, but it just is. I got the tires back on it and I was bleeding out the brakes just because we're getting to that point where I'm getting ready to test drive it, but I gotta line it, I gotta finish fleshing out the system, put the air filter on it and all that jazz. And the master cylinder decided to quit working on me. And what usually happens is when a system that was working perfectly fine the day that it came in, especially when it's this old, what happens is when you open up the system, there's cups and pistons inside of the actual master cylinder. And I know the lighting is horrible, but bear with me. Let me get a flashlight actually, hold on. This is the cylinder here, and through the brake booster there's a rod that gets pushed through the brake pedal that pushes the pistons inside of here, and then there's channels where these brake lines go to the actual calipers. Now what ends up happening is the pistons have a cup, a skirt that ride against the cylinder walls. When you have it sealed and it's been sealed for so long and there's pressure consistently for so long, the pressure pushes the skirts against the cylinder wall. When you relieve that pressure, these skirts collapse, but since they're so worn out and old, it's very hard to get them to spring open and seal against the cylinder walls, pretty much creating a blow-by effect, just like if your piston rings had collapsed and they no longer seal against the cylinder walls. It's essentially the same thing. And to make an extremely long story short, we have to put a new brake master cylinder on it unless I do a gravity bleed, and it takes. But at that point, how much do you trust the cylinder? So it just depends, really. We're going to contact the customer, obviously, and see if we can get another master cylinder put in it and see if he approves. But that's up to him at this point. Now, the other thing on the agenda that I wanted to talk about today is the re-gears are gone. They're done. They're out of here. I was working on a video on re-gearing the back end of the 2017 Toyota Tacoma, and what ended up happening is that was a very, very noisy day, and all of the footage that I got from it is almost, well, not all of it, but 60 to 70% of it is no good. Like, you can barely hear me talk because someone was grinding on a freaking skid plate for hours on end. Get it done, boss. How dare you do your job I pay you for? Get it done. Part and reshim it over and over and over and over and over and over until I'm absolutely happy with it. Little head bop going on. There is actually one scene in that recordings that I got from that.
Man, it'd be so if I did that.
The same problem is he cussed. I can't have that in there. The asshole that you are. He did say the F word, and I just said the F word, but we're just gonna pretend that never happened. That was never a thing. But my goal is maybe the next one that I get coming in, I might just bug this guy right here. He doesn't know it yet, but I'm gonna bug him to be my camera guy, because we do have another re-gear coming. I don't know when it's coming, but it's coming. So the new master cylinder finally came in, and we're gonna go ahead and put it in the good old pickup and get her finally off the lift and see if we can build some decent enough brake pressure. So yeah, first things first, we need to go ahead and empty out the reservoir, and once we get the reservoir out or empty, we can go ahead and start disconnecting lines. Now, we'll cut to that, and then I'll show you. Don't worry. All right, so we're gonna disconnect the cap, so we don't need that. Lift. Looks like this unwinds. We move this electrical connector out of the way. Cool. Next thing is we're gonna go ahead and pack underneath the master cylinder here for brake fluid, because once we take these lines off right here, fluid's gonna come out. All right, so first things first, we need to go ahead and take these lines out. I got my crow's foot, which is grabs that a little better. There we go. Move it back and forth to clean the dirt. The back line. Nice and gently, move back and forth. That's really good. Now the crow's foot's no longer needed. We can go ahead and open this guy up. Gently move that out of the way. Normally we would bench bleed this, but sometimes bench bleeding is not an option for people, so I'm going to show you a little trick that I like to do if I need to just put a master cylinder on in a pinch. Okay, so both of our lines are disconnected and can be moved out of the way. These look like 14s. So we're gonna go ahead and unbolt the master cylinder off of the brake booster. One more. Now, we're going to go ahead and pull this out. Move these lines out of the way, and this guy should come right out. Okay. Hooray! So one thing to note, you can see that it's actually wet, the back of it, which means this back seal was already leaking. So this master cylinder would have never built up pressure again. Okay. Move all our stuff out of the way. And we're going to go ahead and place our new master. Rightfully in its spot. Get these in there, just like that. Okay, we're going to use our electric ratchet to run down the bolts. We're not going to get it too snug. Put that holder bracket in there. I'm just lightly running these in. Add a crisscross. There we go. And then we're going to get our torque wrench. And these we're going to torque down to 25 foot-pounds. Now Toyota doesn't give me a spec on these. I don't have the complete manual book on this guy. But this is about the same torque spec that I've seen this size nut and bolt for this application. So that's where I'm getting my estimate from. Now we can go ahead and hook up our, this would be our brake lines to the front brake calipers. Now this might seem a little backwards, but the piston for the front calipers is going to be right here, and for the rear brakes it's going to be right here. Now I don't want to tighten these all the way just yet. Making a mess now, aren't I? Open the floodgates. So I'm gonna have my assistant over here. I'm gonna slightly close this front one off because I do see some brake fluid come out of it. And then he's gonna press the brakes very slowly, and what that's gonna do is gonna push air out between this fitting and this line. So, all right, slowly push the brakes. Let go. Push the brakes. Hold them. I'm gonna go ahead and close this off. All right, stop. So that one's good. Now we gotta do the top. You can let go. Okay, slowly pushing the brakes. Okay. All right, let go. Okay, sucking in some more. Let go. Okay, again. Faster, 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 faster. There you go. Okay. All right. So that is bench bled. I want to make sure that there was no bubbles in there. I'm sorry the lighting is horrible. I'm trying to do this with a flashlight on my head. So now we can move to the wheels and bleed out the wheels. Okay, so the brakes bled out perfectly fine, and now we can do what we wanted to, and that is align it and hopefully drive it. It's not there. Look at it. Yeah, not the mustache, the truck. So we did do an alignment on it. We do need to test drive it. I don't have an available body to take the camera with me to go test drive it, but I will drive it and let you guys know what I think about it. All right, we got it all set up. She stops, she does things. I actually just drove it, but Joey was too busy for him to come along with me, so I couldn't really record it. The carburetor is going to need some adjustment, and I'll go through that tomorrow. I'll bring my camera back here and I'll record it, and then hopefully I can edit it sometime this weekend. So I'll have more for you guys to make up for the lag that I barely posted last week. So thank you guys for stopping by. As always, Michael likes to make all sorts of noise in progress of the shop, but that is what he does. And I'll see you guys later. Ooh, truck, mustache, truck. Oh, I'm excited. I am excited.